Hey guys, Tom with BuyMeAniPhone.com back at you, and today we are going to be doing a tip video. Now, last tip video I did was the tip video on how to move icons and how to organize icons on your iPhone, and that was very popular. So back by popular request, we're going to be doing some more tip videos. So I've got 5 tips for you, and you may or may not know about these tips, but some people have been asking me about that. Now, the first tip I've been asked about is how do you get this percentage of battery up in the upper right hand corner? Okay, so that's very easy, guys. You go into settings and you go into general, usage, and you see battery percentage. So simply turn that on or off. Okay, so that's tip number 1. Very, very simple tip. Okay, so just so you know again, general, usage, battery percentage on or off. Okay, guys. Now, tip number 2. Okay, tip number 2 is how to turn on auto correction and how to turn off auto correction. Now, I like auto correction because I'm typically A, not a very good typist, and B, my spelling could be better. So I typically like auto correction. So when you're typing things that aren't typically in the dictionary, it doesn't really like it with auto correction. So what you do with auto correction, you go to settings, you go to general, go to keyboard, and you could turn on or off auto correction, auto capitalization. You can enable your cap locks, which means once you press caps twice, it'll be cap locked, so the little up arrow for capitalizations, okay, it'll be cap locked, and the double tap on the space bar for period. You can turn all those on and off. So auto correction, auto capitalization, cap locks, and the period shortcut. Now I like all those features on, so I'm going to leave those on. But anyway, that's tip number 2. Auto correction, auto capitalization, cap locks, and the period shortcut. Okay, pretty simple. So with 3.0, we can have push notifications. Now that's great, but if you don't know how to manage your push notifications, that could be a problem. Only because, number 1, you want to be able to manage those, but number 2, push notification eats up a lot of battery. So you're not going to want to use push notification on all your applications. You're going to want to use it on some that you use most frequently. So what you do is you go into settings, you go into notifications. Now you can turn off your notifications totally. You can turn on your notifications, and then it'll show the 2 apps that are quote unquote push apps. So my AP Mobile, okay, you can turn on sounds, alerts, or badges. So every time that there's a new story, there'll be a little badge on the icon that has 1, 2, 3, just like your email icon. Okay, I can have it make a sound, or I can give me an alert. Okay, now I just want the badges on there. It's pretty sufficient for me that when I look at my AP Mobile application on my iPhone, if there's a badge there, I know that there's a new story. Okay. Also, AIM, okay, you can do the same thing, badges, alerts, or sounds. So when you're not in your AIM application, you can still tell if you've gotten an instant message. Now, I don't use instant messaging a lot on my iPhone, so I leave all those pushes off. So I kind of save some battery there. So I've got push notification on for my AP Mobile just by badges, and for my AIM I have off. Okay, so that is tip number 3. Tip number 4. Now, tip number 4 is more for people that tend to travel a lot. Now, as you know, when you travel, you get on an airplane in New York and you fly to San Francisco. When you get to San Francisco and turn your cell phone back on, it's going to have the local time automatically on your phone, as opposed to your watch. You have to go and change the time zone. Now, that is taken care of over the cellular towers, but I know that that could be a little bit annoying to some business people who are kind of in tune with their local time. So for example, if you're a businessman from New York and you're traveling to San Francisco and all your appointments are set up in Eastern time, okay, it gets a little bit confusing. So you can turn that off automatically. Okay, you can turn off automatic updates and set it manually. So for example, you go into settings, okay, and you go into, you go into settings, general, go down to date and time, and you can automatically turn that automatically off, so you would have to manually change your time zone. So my time zone is to Cupertino, and set my time and date. Okay, I like it on automatically, so it automatically updates my time whether I change time zones. Also, you can put on 24-hour time. Okay, so that's like military time, 1100 or 12:11 a.m. Okay, they use the 24-hour time scale in Europe, and military here in the United States uses 24-hour time. Okay, so that is tip number 4. Now finally, tip number 5 is, I'm sure that you guys have had an app open and it kind of got stuck and hung up, and most people just tend to do a hard reset of the phone and restart their phone by holding down the home key and the power key and restarting their phone. But there's an easier way, guys. Okay, now there's 2 different ways for both the iPhone 3G and the 3GS. So for example, if you're in an application in your iPhone 3G, okay, and it is stuck or hung up, okay, what you do is you hold the home button for 5 seconds and it will force quit your application. So if you hold it for 5 seconds, 1, 2, and of course this is the 3GS, and I'll show you how that's done on the 3GS. With the 3G, you hold it for 5 seconds and it'll force quit. Now, as you noticed, you can't hold the home button for 5 seconds on the 3GS because it does have voice control. So what you do is you hold down the power button for 5 seconds until you see the power off slider bar. Now don't slide it off, okay? But then you hold down the home button for 5 seconds, and that will force quit your application. Okay, and now you're back to the home screen. So you don't have to turn off your phone and turn it back on to force quit an app. What you can do is, on the iPhone 3G, simply hold down your home button for 5 seconds and it'll force quit your application. And on the iPhone 3GS, first hold down your power button for 5 seconds until you see the power off slider bar. Do not turn your phone off, but instead, while the power off slider bar is up there, hold down your home button for 5 seconds and that'll force quit your application. So guys, those are 5 tips that I hope that you find very useful. Show battery percentage, turn on and off auto corrections, push setting time automatically, and force quitting an application that has gotten stuck on your iPhone 3G or 3GS. So guys, if you have any other tips, feel free to email them to me. I'll make sure that we share them with our viewers, and both here on YouTube and on BuyMeAniPhone.com. So I hope you guys enjoyed these, and I hope you find them useful. If you have any questions or suggestions, please email me. My email address is tommoccia, TOMMOCCIA @BuyMeAniPhone.com. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. It's Twitter/BuyMeAniPhone.com, and you can follow me personally, Twitter/Nerf Squeezer. That's NERF Squeezer. Okay. All right, guys. Have a great day. We'll be back at you tomorrow with another great video. And keep it real, guys, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks for your support.